Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's tutorial we are going to learn how to make this crochet shell stitch skirt. It's made up of shell stitches and it's a beginner friendly tutorial, and also we have a tutorial for the matching top, so please check it out. This tutorial will help you make any size that you want. So let us get into it. The materials will be a pair of scissors, darning needle to weave in your loose ends, 4.5mm crochet hook, a tape measure to take your waist and hip measurements, but majorly hip measurements, and yarn. So for the yarn we are using, this is Robin, this is a Kenyan brand, and it's a lightweight yarn. So we are going to double our strand. So let us begin. We're going to make foundation chains which are in multiples of 12, and it should measure approximately as your hip measurements when stretched. Okay, so go ahead and chain yours and I'll meet after that. So 1, 2, I'm done with my foundation chains. I made 132 chains, so that is in multiples of 12. So let's measure this and see if it fits my hip measurements. I was working with hip measurements of 40, so let us measure and see. We are going to measure first without stretching it. It measures 32 inches, okay? But when you stretch it, it can go up to 40. It can go up to 40, even 41, 42, 43. Okay, so that is okay for me. Now you're going to join our work to make a circle, and make sure your work is straight. And you're going to make a slip stitch into the first stitch, first chain. Make a slip stitch, chain 1, and place 1 single crochet into that first chain. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, and you're going to pull through the 2. Okay, now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Skip 2 chains, 1, 2. On the third one, place your single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip 2 chains, 1, 2. On the third one, place your single crochet. Chain 3. Skip 2 chains, and the third one, place a single crochet. That way. So you're going to repeat this pattern until the end of the row, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm left with 2 chains, so I'm just going to slip stitch into our first stitch here, this one, and I'm going to make a slip stitch. Okay, so I have 44 loops in total. 1, 2, 3. I have 44 loops in total. So your loops should be in multiples of 4. Okay, but if you made your chains in multiples of 12, then definitely your loops will be in multiples of 4. Okay, now let's go to the first row. We're going to slip stitch into our first loop, chain 1, and place 1 single crochet into the first loop. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go to the next loop and place a single crochet. Chain 3. Go to the next loop and place a single crochet. That way now we have 2 loops, 1, 2. Now we are going to yarn over, go to the next loop and place 8 double crochets. So that's a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. So that's a double crochet. Have already made 2, 1, 2. Now go ahead and make 8 double crochets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have my 8 double crochets. Now I'm going to make 1 single crochet into the next loop. That way, chain 3. Go to the next loop and make 1 single crochet. Chain 3. go to the next loop and make 1 single crochet. Now I have 2 loops, 1 2, yarn over and place 8 double crochets into the next loop. 1 2 3 I'm done with my 8 double crochets. Now make 1 single crochet into the next loop, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the next, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat the same process until the end of the row. Okay, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end of my row, so I'm just going to join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet here, that way. So this is how your work should look like. I have 11 shells in total. Now let's go to the next row. You're going to insert your hook into the first loop, this one, and make a slip stitch, chain 1, and place 1 single crochet into that loop, chain 3, 1 2 3, place 1 single crochet into the next loop, that way. And now you're going to make 1 double crochet into the first double crochet here, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, go to the next double crochet, chain 1, to the next double crochet, chain 1. So keep doing that until you are done with these double crochets. I'm done with my 8 double crochets. Now you're going to go into the next loop and place 1 single crochet, chain 3, place 1 single crochet in the next loop, and you're going to repeat what we did here. Make 1 double crochet in the first double crochet here, chain 1, make 1 double crochet in the next, chain 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1. So keep doing that until you get to the end of these double crochets. So you should have 8 double crochets with chain 1 in between, that way. Place 1 single crochet in the next loop, chain 3, and 1 single crochet in the next one. So keep repeating this until you get to the end of the row, and you are going to meet at this point. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet here, that way. Now let's go to the next row. You're going to slip stitch into the first loop, chain 1, make a single crochet, and now you're going to go ahead into the double crochets. So make your double crochet into the first double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and go to the next double crochet and make a double crochet on top of it, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, on the next double crochet make your double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, on the double crochet make your double crochet. So keep doing that until you get to the end of this shell. That way. So this is how it looks like. Now we're going to go into the next loop. Now we have 1 loop in between our shells. You're going to make 1 single crochet into that and go right ahead into the next double crochets. Make your double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, go to the next double crochet. So keep doing that until you get to the end of these double crochets. That way. Make 1 single crochet into the next loop. So this is how it should look like. So keep doing that and you will meet at the end of the row. I'm at the end of my row, so I'm going to slip stitch into our first single crochet here, that way. So this is how your work should look like at this point. Now let's go to the next step. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and insert your hook into the first chain 1 space and make a slip stitch. That way. Chain 3, go to the next chain 1 space and make a slip stitch. Chain 3, the next chain 1 space, make a slip stitch. Chain 3. So keep doing that until you are done with the first shell. I'm on my last chain 1 space. Insert your hook into the single crochet and make a slip stitch. Now chain 3 and go into the first chain 1 space and make a slip stitch. Chain 3, go to the next chain 1 space, make a slip stitch. So keep doing that until you are done with this shell. I'm on my last chain 1 space. Go to the single crochet and make a slip stitch, that way. So this is how it should look like. Now you're going to continue doing exactly what we've done here until the end of the row, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end of my row, so I'm going to join it with a slip stitch into the first chain 3 space, this one, chain 1, that way. Okay, so this is how it should look like. Now let's go to the next step. You can cut your yarn and reattach it back at the wrong side of this stitch, this first double crochet, but on the wrong side. Okay, at this side. So you can cut your yarn and reattach it back at that point, or you can slip stitch up to that point. So I'm just going to make some slip stitches up to that point just to avoid cutting my yarn. And now I'm on that stitch, so I'm just going to slip stitch that way. Now you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to look for a middle point of the shell, so you're going to count the chain 1 spaces, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. This is the middle point. So on the wrong side, pick up the back loop only, and you're going to make 1 single crochet that way. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to go into the last double crochet, this one, on the wrong side of your work, make a single crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2, and go into the first double crochet of the next shell, this one, but on the wrong side, make your single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look for a middle point, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, this one on the wrong side, and back loop, this one, back loop, make a single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and go to the last double crochet of this shell, this one, but on the wrong side, make a single crochet. Chain 2. Now on the first double crochet of the next shell, make a single crochet. I think now you have the idea of what you are doing here. So your work should look like this. Okay, so this is the right side and this is the wrong side. So continue doing that and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Now at the end of the row is at this point. Okay, I'm at the end, So I'm going to slip stitch into this first space that way. So this is how it looks like. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Now let's go to the first row of this second step. You're going to chain 1 and you're going to make 5 single crochets into this space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to the next, chain 5 space and make 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go to the chain 2 space and make 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Now to the chain 5 space, make 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now to another chain 5 space, make 5 single crochets. 4 and 5. Now to chain 2 space, make 2 single crochets that way. So keep doing that until the end of the row and I'll meet you at the end. I'm done with this row, so I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet here that way, and you can go ahead and confirm the amount of loops that you have here. It should be equal to these loops we had in our first row. Okay, we are just repeating what we did here. Now let's go to the next row. You're going to insert your hook into the first loop, this one, make a slip stitch, chain 1 and make 1 single crochet into that loop. Now place 8 double crochets into the next loop. 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8. Now go into the next loop and make 1 single crochet, chain 3, go to the next loop and make 1 single crochet, chain 3, go to the next and make 1 single crochet. So we have 2 loops and you're going to make 8 double crochets on the next loop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. Now you go into the next loop and make a single crochet, chain 3, go to the next loop and make a single crochet, chain 3, go to the next, a single crochet. Now you're going to repeat the same pattern until the end of the row, and this is like the second row of our first piece, this one. Okay, so you're just going to repeat what you did here on this other side until the end. Okay, until you have a full shell. Okay, so go ahead and do that and you're going to meet after you're done with that. I'm done with my second layer and this is how it looks like right now. So you're going to repeat what you did on the second layer up to the height that you want. So let's say you're working with a height of let's say 17 inches. You're going to minus 2 for the waistline because you're going to make the waistline later. It will be at least 2 inches. Then you're going to work with the 15 inches that is left. Okay, so right now we have 4 inches, so you're going to make up to 15 or the height that you want. So continue repeating what you did on the second layer until you achieve the height that you want, and then you're going to meet at that point. I made 7 layers in total. Now let's measure it and see. It measures 13.5 inches. Now let's continue. So you can decide how many layers you're going to make for yours. You can make more layers if you want a longer skirt, or if you want a shorter one, make less layers. You can make, let's say, 5 or 6. Okay, now let's go ahead to the waistline. So I'm going to switch the yarn to 3.5. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video, so just switch to 3.5, don't use 4.5. okay, and you're going to attach your yarn at any point but on these single crochet stitches. okay, the same loop with these single crochets. So let's say this point, the next one will be this, the next one will be this one. Okay, so go ahead and attach it at any point. So I'm going to attach mine there. Take my yarn and you're going to chain one just to attach the yarn, and now I'm going to chain 11. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. Now let's start the first row. You're going to place one single crochet into the second chain from the hook and place one single crochet in each stitch till the end of the row. So in total you'll have 10 single crochets. Don't place it on the last one, the one we used to attach the yarn. So I have my 10 single crochets. Now you're going to insert your hook into the same loop and make a slip stitch. That way, chain one and turn your work. Now you're going to skip the first stitch, go to the second one and place one single crochet in each stitch till the end of the row, back loops only. Okay. Now you're going to chain one, turn your work, and you're going to make one single crochet back loops only till you have 10 single crochets. 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now you're going to go into the next loop, this one, and you're going to make a slip stitch, chain one and turn your work, and you're going to repeat the same process. Go to the second stitch, not this one, and make one single crochet back loops only till the end of the row. Chain one, turn your work and place one single crochet in each stitch until you have 10 single crochets. Now you're going to make a slip stitch into the next loop, this one, chain one and turn, and go to the second stitch, this one, and make your single crochets back loops only. Chain one, turn. Now you're going to go to the next loop, this one, and make a slip stitch and just repeat the same process, and you'll continue that way, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm done working on my rows. This was the last one, and I ended up at this point. So this is how it looks like. Now we are going to join the two together. So remember, at the beginning of our work we got 44 loops, chain 3 spaces on our first row. That's why I have 88 rows for the waistline. Okay, so 44 times 2. So that's how you're going to get yours as well. So now you're going to join the two ends together. You're going to chain one, and you're going to work on the wrong side of your work. So you're going to hold it this way. You're going to insert your hook into the first stitch on this side, this one, and the first on the other side back loop, this one. Pull up a loop, and you're going to pull through all. You're making a slip stitch. Okay, go to the next one, insert your hook into the next, this one, and the next on the other side back loop, make a slip stitch. Go to the next one and keep doing that until you get to the end. And you're going to chain one and cut, that way. So this is how it looks like on the right side, and this is how it looks like on the wrong side. And this is how your waistline should look like, guys. Now you're going to remove all these loose ends, and we are done, guys. So if you have not watched the top that matches this skirt, please go ahead and do so. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on my next video. Have a good time.